Side note, I'm digging my outfit today. I got a sparkly bra situation going on, and I'm wearing the shoes that I wore on my first marathon. Check out the rest of the outfit. 5-mile run today. It's gonna happen at the gym. On my last vlog, the 15-mile run, I talked about the biggest thing I learned during my first marathon. There were a few other things that I talked about during that run, but I didn't fit in that vlog. I'm going to fit it in this vlog because I think it's important. So I hope you enjoy that while I am running my 5 miles. Do something that you enjoy, and I'm talking on a physical level, because all of that stems out, I believe it stems out to other things in your life. And when you're physically active with whatever it is that you can do, even if you can only stretch, even if you can only walk, even if the only thing that you can do is be pain-free for one day, you have to continue doing that thing. It is so worth it, and it makes everything else that you have to do, other responsibilities of life, so much more bearable. And the thing that just makes me tick is running. There's a few other things that I've been enjoying lately, but it's running, and that's why I choose the sport of marathon running, if that's even how you call it, or if it's even a sport, I don't know. But for me, it's running. That's what works for me. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing I learned. You gotta find that thing that you enjoy, that thing that makes you happy. Another thing I learned during my first marathon is that you'll surprise yourself, or I surprised myself with how dedicated, with how many crazy things I was willing to do or modify in order to train and in order to be ready for marathon day. I'm a very, very slow runner. For example, at the time, I had to start work like at 7 o'clock, but I had to get in a good 7 mile, 8 miles, sometimes a smaller one, 3 or 4 mile run in before work, and it would take me almost an hour to get to work. So I was waking up like at 3 o'clock in the morning in order to get those miles in. So you'll be so dedicated that you'll surprise yourself. And you'll probably learn, at least I did, that you're pretty much capable of doing almost anything. This is coming from a person who is not a natural born athlete, or just an athlete in general. So that was pretty cool for me, because anytime I encounter something else later on that seems impossible, I'm like, girl, you ran 26.2 miles. You've got this. Also, during my training for my first marathon, that's when I realized how important it is to sleep and to eat well. And another thing, starting small or starting slow is totally okay. I was only running about 3 days a week, and my long runs were established. They progressed as the weeks went by. But my short runs, I was only doing 3 to 4 miles long. But this marathon training season, which is my 3rd marathon, my training plan is a lot more aggressive. My long runs, they get longer as the weeks go by. My short runs are between 5 to 8 miles long. I would have never, ever been able to start that way. I never even thought that I'd be doing another marathon. So if you progress little by little, it's totally okay. Anyway, you're going to be doing massive amounts of laundry. You're gonna be hungry all the time. Another thing I learned during my first marathon is that running around like a crazy person is a great way to get to know a new city, especially if you're new. I was training for my first marathon when we first moved to Hawaii. It was a great way to get to know the new community we had moved into. Also, don't compare yourself. I struggle with this on a daily basis. I learned that I can't be comparing my efforts to somebody's, 20-year career. I look at other runners and they just do circles around me and they go so fast, and I'm such a slow runner. Like, why am I running for 3 hours at a time? If I were faster, I could be doing this half the time. But that's the thing. I've learned not to compare myself. It's an everyday struggle. Hope you enjoyed finishing up those last little pieces of my last vlog. But I have a little confession to make. I parked about a half a mile away from the gym, so I actually only did 4.5 miles on the treadmill, and so then I walked from the gym to my car, completing my 5-mile run.